And the first one was this zombie Samantha Maxis with the Krig 6 styled as a unicorn. Pretty wild stuff out of Call of Duty. And so, of course, the first thing I did when hopping into Maldotone was to check the inspection. And man, the inspection's super wild on this weapon. It seems like they put more effort into their bundles than their actual game at this state. But I have a feeling with Modern Warfare 2, it's going to change because it's going to last 2 years, that game, and they need that to actually be good, I think. Now, one of the coolest things I added was the Rampage Inducer, and it lasts around 55 now. It's not controversial to say that Cold War is the easiest zombies game, unless I'm dumb and I can't think of another game that's easier. And so this Rampage Inducer basically just picks up with speed because Cold War is all about just having fun. It's not the most thought-provoking video game, specifically the zombies I'm talking about, but in saying that, there is a lot of cool stuff you can do. And if you do want to be clever, you can, because there's so much variation in the gameplay, which kind of contradicts my point that it's not thought-provoking. But if you played Cold War, I think you know what I mean. The gameplay itself is very chaotic and instinctual, but there's more variation in weapons, equipment, and field upgrades. And on every map, the setups are pretty chill. You make your way down into the power room here on Maldotone, flip the switch, and then you have to kill 2 Tempests, you get 2 parts, and then you can turn on the power. The lights will then turn on, and in this situation here, I have to kill a Panzer, which are pretty strong on this game, particularly in the low rounds when you don't have anything good. So I take him down here and then use my Ring of Fire on him. This map is super chaotic because there's Panzers, Disciples, the Tormentors. There's a lot of stuff going on this map. At round 13 here, I go to the Wonder Fizz and you can just get all of your perks from there. I grab a lot of them, but I run out of points because they do get gradually more expensive. I then make my way over to this little ritual circle where I can activate the Pack-a-Punch machine. I pull out my death machine so I can kill this Disciple in like 1 second. I think this is meant to act like somewhat of a boss fight before you actually can use the Pack-a-Punch, but it really doesn't feel like that. It's just kind of like 3 points. So I do Pack-a-Punch my Unicorn. I then activate the Trial Machine because in my opinion, this is the best way to get the Wonder Weapon, and I get it first time. Pretty much for all of the maps except for Demon Machine, I just use the Trial Machine because it's so fast. If you have really bad luck, it will take you about 3 trials to get it, but usually I get it in 1 or 2. And this Wonder Weapon is awesome. I did use a lot of the different variations of it as well. So the first variation I got was this horizontal 4 burst variation. It's not that great. Also, these variations are based off ammo. So once you use all of the ammo, you will then go back to the normal base. I then use the rocket version, which is pretty cool as well. And lastly, the laser beam version, which I really like personally. But when you really look at it, the base version is the best version. And so after using those 3 versions for the video, I just don't switch anymore. I then turn on the Rampage Juicer and Pack-a-Punch my Cerberus. And then for these high rounds, I mean, things are pretty simple. It's actually kind of crazy. The very first game, and it's actually on my channel, I was like literally one of the first people to find this position here where you just don't open this door. I mean, I don't know if I was. It was in my very first game, like 2 minutes in. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to close this door here because I realize of how big of an area this is. Why would you ever close this door? And it just happens that this is like the fastest strategy on this map. And pretty much all I do is just use the Wonder Weapon and the War Machine. I always have decoys on me as well in case. The Tormentor rounds are super free on this map. I love them because they just speed up the rounds and give you a free max ammo. Also, they're kind of cool, but I wish the Tormentors spawned in like 3 at once instead of 1 at a time. So at round 55, like I said, the Rampage Inducer actually disappears. But because it's round 55, the spawns are actually faster and the zombies themselves are faster. Because by round 55, all these zombies should be sprinting. Where with the Rampage Inducer, some of them will be just running and the rest will be sprinting. And so at the start of round 67 here, you can see I just use the War Machine. I mean, it's absolutely insane that it's a 1-shot kill. It should definitely be way weaker than that. But like I said, Cold War is just kind of for fun, and I think they made to have a very casual experience. And so yeah, I use my War Machine and then I get my Ring of Fire, use my CRBR, spam the crap out of it, pull out my War Machine again, and then just repeat the process. It's actually a lot of fun doing this. It may look kind of stupid in the video, but trust me, it is a lot of fun. And that's a round just like that. The rounds go so fast on this map and in this game in general. I mean, like I said, I could do this in a single day, get round 100 in all these maps. I was thinking about doing like 300 or 400 in all the maps, but I figured it's really no different getting from 100 to 300 except for time, where a lot of other zombies maps, it actually does matter. But because Cold War is so easy, if I got to round 300, to be honest, it's not that different from 100. It just takes an extra like 18 hours. And I think if you really want to test yourself, just try and get to round 100. Here at round 94, I nearly go down. That was very close. The Disciples are the one thing that can destroy you. And I did accidentally open that door there. So I pretty much just broke the high round strategy by opening that door. So now I have to do a different strategy these next 6 rounds because I need to get to 101 so I can exfil to the next map. Here on round 99, I'm just going to show, I just run up here and use my War Machine. I do the exact same strategy, but I just run up here and then I camp in a different spot. But fun fact, again, it's on my channel. I got the world record 4 times. Someone's beat it now. But for the flawless run on this map, I actually held it for a little while, but I think I got to like 330. and I ended up getting to like round 480 or something, and then my game crashed. So here at round 101, all I have to do is the exfil, and the way this is kind of going to work is we're just going to be like, imagine I'm just exfilling from one chopper or helicopter to the next area, to the next zombies map, I should say, because that's kind of how it felt. I really do like the exfil system. It makes it so you literally beat the game in a way. I wish the exfil was only kind of out of 101, but I guess for casuals that would be really stupid. But for someone who likes high rounds, it makes it more rewarding so that you can't just exfil in round 16. It doesn't really feel like you beat the game if you exfil in round 16. But boom, we get into the chopper and we're off. And we got 12,000 kills, usually get around 12,000 to 13,000 kills, and we had 0 downs. Maldotone, great map. I actually really like it.